Today in Yirtz Hashem, we're going to discuss how to utilize the day of Purim to fight our ongoing battle with Amalek. So I'd like to start off with the Mishnah, which tells us that Hakoire L'mafreya lo yatsa. If a person reads the Megillah backwards, if somebody has this great idea that they're going to start with the end of the story and first read the last prokim and then go back to Vayhi Bimei Achashverosh, they think it's a cute thing because it's been a halfway through. Or for those people who like to read the end of the book before they read the beginning of the book, or skip around to different chapters, even if you read every single pasuk loud and clear with no mistakes in the kriya, you're not chayiv. And you're not yaitze, excuse me. And there's the Hasidic word on that which teaches us that a person, if they are korei lemafreya, if they read the Megillah as something which they don't associate with their lives, but rather they view it as something which happened many, many generations ago, and it's a nice, cute story, they're not yoitze. If they don't attach themselves to bayomim hahem bazman hazeh, if we're not focused when we're reading the Megillah and we hear the words when the Yidden had light and they had happiness, if I don't see myself in that pasuk, I'm not yoitze. The whole point of the Mikra Megillah is to not just retell a story, but to recognize that the story of sinning, of being punished, of despairing, of doing tshuva, of salvation, is within me. It's my story. It's the story of Klal Yisrael, and in Yirtz Hashem it will be the story of Melech HaMashiach soon. So on Purim, we are fighting against a very tough enemy, Amalek. And Amalek, he has this way of digging his claws, his nails into the heart of every man, and his goal, as it says in the Megillah, is lahashmid, laharog, ulahabed, to completely destroy. When Hitler, Yamach Shemo v'zichro, waged his war against the Jews, he collected a lot of items, Torah scrolls, and all kinds of Judaica, with the intention of creating a museum in order to remember that there once was a nation called the Jews who we wiped out. Haman is lahashmid, laharog, ulahabed. Haman wanted no recollection, no remembrance, no thought of Am Yisrael, which means no recollection or thoughts of Kedusha. But there should be no semblance of Kedusha in this world. Physically and spiritually, completely destroy Klal Yisrael. And this war, which we are fighting every day with Amalek, really began when Klal Yisrael left Mitzrayim, after they crossed the Yam Suf, and we have in the ends of Parshas Beshalach, when Klal Yisrael is attacked by Amalek. And later on in the Midbar, Bilam, when he's looking at all the nations of the world and giving prophecy about them, he looks at Amalek and he says, Reishis Goyim Amalek v'achriso adei oivei. Amalek was the first, as Rashi points out, he was the first one who jumped into this hot, boiling bath. Along comes a late, a scoffer, jumps in, and even though he gets burned himself, he cools off the water for everybody else. So this was Amalek. The whole world was in awe of Klal Yisrael. Who is this great nation who's so close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who HaKadosh Baruch Hu cares about so much, who HaKadosh Baruch Hu performed the 10 plagues for them in order to redeem them from Mitzrayim, and took them out, and did all these miracles by Yam Suf. Who is this great nation? Well, along came Amalek and let everyone know, it's not such a big deal. Don't think they're so perfect. Don't think they're so great. We can take care of them too. Now, it's something interesting to point out that a good friend of mine, Avigail, pointed out that the language, the slang, which we use today, the words chill, cool out, this is very often the voice of Amalek. Asher karcha baderech, who cooled you off in the path. We're hot. We're excited about something. The blood is flowing. We have his iris and his lavas. Oh, big deal. You never saw that before? You never heard that before? Oh, come on. You don't know about that? Or when you hear a great speaker and you're so inspired, the person next to you is like, wow, that was a long speech. It cools it down. it cools it down. It doesn't necessarily take it all away, but it cools it down. So as we get closer to the Yemos HaMashiach, as we get closer to Geula, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'chvodo uve'atzmo will finish off Amalek and end this war in a complete way, we have a larger chelek and more nisyonos with banishing Amalek. And we have to know exactly what is Amalek, because we don't want to be like the Polish army in World War II, who greeted the German tanks on horses. We need to be prepared. We need to know what is Amalek's secret weapon in order that we can prepare ourselves. So I'm reading from Sefer Oitzer Hayira in Chelek Tshuvas Hashana Purim, where he writes that who is Amalek? Amalek